Okay, go. In the village of Botkins, there sits a quaint cottage on the corner of Lynn and Main. From the outside, the cottage appears quite modest. However, if you enter, you'll see the interior is anything but. The inside is furnished with a variety of unique pieces, each one indicative of one of the many places the woman of the house has visited. However, the real highlight of the residence is its abundant garden. The illustrious garden encompasses a variety of different flora, including everything from daisies to violets. Not only does this colorful oasis make the house somewhat of a neighborhood landmark, but it also makes the woman that maintains it a local celebrity. In fact, the woman of the house is so well known for her beautiful blossoms that people often refer to her as the Flower Lady. I, however, just call her my great-grandma. Janet Margaret McDermott was born on December 5th, 1922 in Queensland, Australia. She met my great-grandfather on January 13th, 1943, while acting as a hostess at the recreation room at the Women's National Emergency Legion in Australia. My great-grandfather was a United States soldier at the time and had come to the recreation room to spend a few leisurely hours. That was until he bet his lieutenant that he could get a date with my great-grandmother, who had just denied the lieutenant mere moments ago. For reasons still unknown, my grandmother accepted his proposal, and the two spent the remainder of the evening dancing the night away. The couple remained in pure bliss until October of the succeeding year, when my great-grandfather informed my great-grandmother that his company had relocated and he would no longer be returning. My grandmother spent a tearful night trying to understand, but was greeted with joy in the morning when my grandfather showed up on her front step, exclaiming, "I just couldn't leave." A few short months later, the two were engaged, and on March 7th of that same year, they were married. About a year later, my great-grandfather was severely injured and was taken back to the States to be hospitalized. When my great-grandmother learned of his injuries, she dropped everything and immediately applied for her travel visa. After her papers were finalized, she said a tearful goodbye to her family and headed to Brisbane to await passage to the United States, never looking back. In April of 1945, my great-grandmother finally arrived in the village of Botkins, only to be faced with great fear and adversity. My great-grandfather was to remain in the hospital for 3 weeks until he could return home, and those first few weeks without him were a very trying time for my great-grandmother. She felt as though she never knew what to say, and would stay locked inside her room for hours wondering if she was dressed properly. She feared that nobody would be able to understand her accent, and everywhere she went, she worried that everyone was staring at her. She was afraid that she would never be able to fit in. Little did she know, all she really needed to do was allow herself to stand out. 74 years later, my great-grandmother is a celebrated member of the community, most known for her elegant fashion choices, her charming Australian accent, and her vibrant garden. She is the mother of 11 children, the grandmother of 30, and the great-grandmother of 70. That's a total of 101 unique individuals, all because one woman decided to follow her heart and to stand out from the crowd. I am honored to call that remarkable woman my great-grandmother, Janet Margaret McDermott Koenig. Thank you.